Hey guys, I'm gonna let you know what I really don't like about the Canon EOS R8. There's a couple things I don't like about this camera. Now, some of you have heard the normal thing about battery life, and that is a bit of an issue in this camera because you're not gonna get as much as you would like a Sony a7 IV or higher end camera. You're gonna have to change out your batteries more often. For me personally, that's not as big of an issue. I mean, it literally takes 15 seconds for me to like swap a camera out, or if you have it on a tripod, you can use a dummy battery and it works fine. So that's not so big of an issue for me. I mean, obviously, if you're doing wedding photography professionally and you need like, you don't want to be swapping in the middle of a thing, but you can also use a Canon ESRP body, the bottom grip that has the batteries in it. You can use that as well. So if you can have two batteries in it, and it'll give you twice as much time. Of course, it increases the size, but at least you'll have twice the battery power. And the next thing, the one thing that bothers me the most about this camera is going to be that little battery symbol up in the corner. And instead of being a percentage, it's like it shows you like bars, but it's very inaccurate. It could show like you have like a 50% life left, but it'd be totally wrong because within like 7, 8, 10 minutes, it could shut off on you like out of nowhere. This is really inaccurate. It doesn't really register correctly. I don't like that at all. I like the percentages, like the Sony's show. They'll show the percentages. It's got 87, 47, to whatever. I really wish that is the one thing I don't like because you really don't really know how much battery life you truly have left. So I mean, come on, Canon, that like give us a percentage, man. I like to be accurate. Like my Sony's, it's also like 7% life. Like, hey, you got to hurry, right? This you might think you got 20 minutes left, but you might only have 5. So that's a big difference. That's the one thing. That's my main issue with the Canon EOS R8. Third thing is Ibis. To me, that's not as big of a deal. I mean, it could help out when you're doing some video stuff, but if you're vlogging with a 16 millimeter 2.8 with enhanced on, don't even need it. You don't even really need it. It looks good. I have a lot of videos on that. Go ahead and check them out. You'll see that makes a great vlogging full frame camera with a 16 mm 2.8. It really does. So, I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to have, but for me, it's not necessary. So it's not as big of a deal. And you can put it on a tripod and you can use that with a dummy battery, and you can go and go and go, which leads us to the fourth thing, which is overheating. Now that is an issue if you leave it on for long, long periods of time. I've never had it overheat. I've had the bars go up on me, but I've never had it overheat on me. So, I mean, one thing I did do is I ordered a little fan. I'm like, you know what, let's try something. Because I know if you put this on 4K 60, which is uncropped, which is great, right? It's R6 Mark II sensor. You're talking $1,000 more camera. You got the same sensor in here. So if you can get past these little issues, then, I mean, it's a good camera. I love this camera. I just don't like the battery percentage thing is the worst. But getting back to the overheating, I'm going to put it on 4K 60. I'm going to run it, and I got a little fan coming. You can get them for like 15, 20 bucks or whatever on Amazon. And then I'm going to put the fan on it as long as it's a low decibel, like 20 to 30. 20 is ideal, 20 to 30 decibels. And if you got a separation between you and the camera, the microphone shouldn't pick up the fan noise. But, I mean, if you're going to use it on a tripod, and the fan blows on it, I want to test it. I'm going to see how long I can get with my dummy battery. If I can go, I think it's 4K 60. It limits itself to 30 minutes, whatever. I'll reset it again and again and see how long I can go on 4K 60. Now, if it doesn't overheat in 4K 60 with a fan on it, then you're good for any other mode that there is on here. So, but I've never had it overheat, but I have had the bars up when I put on 4K 60 when I was trying to get it to overheat, and it will overheat on you. It's just, I never made it. I never let it. I would just turn it off, let it rest a couple minutes, and then it's fine. So, but that's an issue. If you want to run hours and hours of 4K 60, then you're going to want a different camera. Or I'll let you know about this fan situation. If that fixes it, if that corrects it, and if I can leave it on 4K 60 again and again and again, leave it on a tripod if that's your use for it, and it'll be fine. A lot of people will complain about the no dual card slot. For me, I only use one card slot anyway. I don't really care about redundancy. I'm not using it for wedding photography for events that I'm getting paid to do. So for me, that doesn't really matter. I've never had a SD card go bad on me. You just, when you're done uploading all your stuff on the camera, then you format the card and start again. I generally haven't had a problem. Obviously, if you're 100% professional, you're getting paid to do these things, that I can see. But for me, for most people, I think, I mean, if I don't get, a 3-minute vlog clip or a 3-minute YouTube clip, I can just redo it again, which would be inconvenient. But I've never had that issue. In 2 years of playing with cameras, I've never had an SD card go bad. So for me, it's not as big of an issue as it might be for some, but for me, it's not. The final thing that I really don't like is not the camera itself, right? It's the RF lens itself. You see, like, it would be nice to get a good zoom lens for the Canon R8, but you really can't. I mean, you can get the kit lens, 24 to 105, relatively cheap, and that'll give you a zoom, and that's okay. But if you want a low aperture zoom, so for instance, you can get a Tamron for the Sony, zoom 2.8, 28 to 75. I had that lens. It was a great lens, and it's like $800. Versus like Canon, they don't have any 2.8 lenses that are under $1,000. You can't get them a zoom lens under $1,000 that are 2.8s. You just can't. And that is a shame because they won't allow third-party companies to make lenses for their cameras. And I don't like that. I really don't like that. So that's why I like Sony too, and I like my Canon, but those are the things I don't like about it. As far as entry-level full-frame camera, this is a good camera. This will do most of what anyone doing YouTube or vlogging will do. It's got a great grip for the size of the camera. I mean, it really does. I got pretty big hands, but for the size, I mean, the grip's good. I mean, I don't have an issue with that. So the body's good. I mean, it works great. It's just, those few issues that I have with it, but I can overlook those issues because it's a good value for me. Now, all the major brand cameras made for the most part are good cameras now. It's just you got to pick out the one that's going to work in your budget and the one that works for your needs. But those are some of the things that I don't like about the Canon EOS R8. I just wanted you to after using this for a month, to let you know what I thought about it and what I didn't like. But I can look past those. And if you can't in your workflow, then you'll have to move to another camera. But for me, it's a great camera. It's my A cam and my B cam. I got my Sony a7 IV that I'm recording on now. All right, guys, I hope that helps you out a little bit. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to see any videos, let me know. I'll be happy to do it. I like this. This is what I do. I like to have fun. All right, guys, have a great day. Thank you.